In a small village surrounded by golden fields and quiet hills, there lived an old water carrier named Hariram. Every morning, before the sun rose, he would walk down the narrow path to the river. On his shoulders, he carried a wooden pole. On each end of the pole hung a clay pot. One pot was perfect, smooth, strong, without a single crack. The other pot had a long crack running down one side, and every day that crack changed everything. Hariram would fill both pots with fresh river water, but by the time he reached his home at the top of the hill, the perfect pot was still full. The cracked pot was only half full. This happened every single day, for 2 years. The perfect pot felt proud. I am flawless, it thought. I carry all the water. I never fail. It would whisper to the cracked pot, "Look at you. You leak. You waste water. You are useless." The cracked pot stayed silent, but inside, it was breaking more than it already was. One evening, after returning from the river, the cracked pot couldn't hold it anymore. It spoke softly to Hariram. "Master, I am ashamed." Hariram stopped walking. "Ashamed? Why?" "Because I am cracked. I can only deliver half the water. You work so hard every day, and I fail you." The old man smiled, but he didn't answer. Instead he said, "Tomorrow, look carefully at the path on your side." The next morning, the cracked pot observed the path closely. On its side of the road, there were wildflowers, bright yellow, purple, red. They danced in the morning breeze. On the perfect pot's side, the soil was dry and bare. When they reached home, Hariram spoke. "Did you see the flowers?" "Yes, but what does that have to do with me?" Hariram smiled gently. "I planted those seeds 2 years ago, and every day, as you leaked water, you watered them. I collect those flowers for my home, for prayer, for decoration. If you were not cracked, those flowers would never bloom." For the first time, the perfect pot felt quiet. It had never looked down. It had never noticed the beauty growing beside it. It only focused on itself, its strength, its perfection. But it had created nothing. The cracked pot thought it was broken. But it was nourishing life. The perfect pot thought it was superior. But it was simply carrying. Sometimes what looks like weakness is silent strength. Hariram sat both pots down that evening and said, "In this world, everyone has cracks. Some cracks are visible. Some are hidden inside. Some people struggle with fear. Some with self-doubt. Some with scars from their past. But those cracks allow compassion to flow. If you were perfectly strong, perfectly guarded, nothing would grow around you." The cracked pot began to understand. Maybe being sensitive wasn't weakness. Maybe failing sometimes wasn't failure. Maybe crying didn't mean you were fragile. Maybe your past mistakes are watering someone else's growth. From that day forward, the cracked pot stopped apologizing. It stopped comparing. It walked proudly beside the perfect pot. Not because it was flawless, but because it was useful in its own way. And the perfect pot. It stopped mocking. It started observing. It learned humility. The world celebrates perfection, but life blooms through cracks. Your weakness, maybe your empathy, your softness, maybe someone's comfort, your failure, may guide someone else. Your struggle may become your story, and your story may save someone who feels broken. If you feel cracked, if you feel behind, if you feel not enough, remember this: flowers only grow where water flows, and sometimes it takes a crack to let the water out. Moral: your weakness is not your limitation. It is your hidden contribution to the world.